me, your man, Louie Tee. Welcome to the Command Post Game Live. I'm all out of sorts. I'm gonna keep it a buck with y'all. I was on the injury report for this game. I'm gonna give y'all everything I got, and I'm gonna sell out. I don't know if I'm gonna have anything left for tomorrow or the day after that, but we gonna pull up tonight, okay? 4-4. Didn't see it coming. I got all kinds of fluids here, so you got to bear with me tonight. When it was 16-7, you couldn't have paid me to think that we would be in this position. I had black on, had the black background. I was ready, which is what took me so long to get here, just switching everything out. Didn't think that we were going to get this victory, and I'm sitting there in the MOBB talking about, this is our move, right? Have an opportunity right there in front of us. Don't seize that opportunity. Lose to a quarterback making his first career NFL start. The Colts tried everything in their power to lose this football game. 2 fumbles going towards the red zone. They failed on the 3rd and goal from the 2-yard line. They had every opportunity to put this thing away. That wasn't even a 2. That was from the 1. Big play by Bobby McCain to keep wide receiver Michael Pittman Jr. out of the end zone. And then Jamin Davis with a massive stop. Heinicke, man, he showed me something today. I said in the MOBB, after the interception, this is his move, or at least it was last year. He's going to press now, try to make something happen, and he's going to compound the matter and make it worse. He's going to exacerbate the problem. And I couldn't have been further from the truth. Would have loved it if they would have scored a touchdown on that 12-play, 82-yard drive, but they got a field goal, cut it to a 1-score game, and the plays he made down the stretch, uneffing real, okay? So happy for Terry going back home and doing what he did in this game. 6 catches, 113 yards, showed why he's that dude, why he's the number 1 receiver on this team. There were people questioning Terry and whether he was the number 1 receiver on this team. And I don't think those doubts should even exist after, what he's done the first, 4 years of his career. But what he's done this season, the last 2 games in particular, I mean, he's been outstanding. And that play against Stephon Gilmore, that's classic Terry McLaurin. Going up, fighting for the football, taking it away. And, I was thinking when that happened, we've been here before. We got down to the 2-yard line versus the Tennessee Titans. Can we get this football in? They didn't waste any time. Quarterback sneak. I loved it. Then I was like, hey, Joey, don't piss me off. He makes the kick. Barely. It almost got blocked. And I'm still stunned. I'm still stunned. Unbelievable that this team was able to win that football game. All odds against them, down 16-7. And somehow they're able to rally. And the thing that drives me nuts with this team is there's never a sense of urgency. That possession right before halftime drove me insane. And I was kind of feeling the same way, that last possession. Even though we got out of bounds, Heinicke had a scramble and got out of bounds, and they were able to call a timeout. And then the Colts helped us out big time with, them having an injury. You never want to see that. He was carted off, but they had to spend the time out there under 2 minutes. But it was funny. I forgot who it was in the MOBB. He said, look, we need to throw a bomb. We still need like 70 yards. And as fate would have it, look, we killed the offensive line when they don't do their job, and there was pressure on Heinicke in this game. But on that throw to Terry down to the 1, he had all day, forever and a day. Forever and a day, ever and a day. And that's how he was able to instruct Terry, go down the field, and I'm going to give it to you. So, the legend of TLH growth and growth. Ultra, 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 ultra. Didn't think we would get to say that today. I'm not going to lie to you. 4-4. Didn't think we would be here. Not after the way we played in this game. But I've said this to you guys before, and I'll say it again. More games in this league are lost than they are won. A wise man once told me that. You had 2 fumbles by the Colts. You had a Jamin Davis with a big stop, right? Got to give him credit there. But then on that final possession, Michael Pittman Jr., he's going to have them right around midfield. Call your final timeout, and all you need now is a 10-yard catch. You got an opportunity to kick a field goal and walk it off. He drops the football. They didn't want to win this game. It wasn't pretty. It was gritty, and most importantly, it was a dub. And it's never going to be pretty with this team. Never. This is how we're going to have to win games. Ugly. We were really trying to play ball control. That first half went by like that. Sam Ehlinger is who I thought he was, a damn good prospect. And he did some really good things today. Threw the deep ball well, used his legs a ton of times. I thought he gave them a chance. Unfortunately for them, he didn't get, he made a mistake. Jonathan Taylor made a mistake. And then Pittman had the drop at the end. But again, I'm not giving it back. So let's get to the comments, man. I want to kind of soak it in, listen to what you guys have to say. Try not to miss too many supers. I know my gang out there is taking screenshots. If I missed anything, they'll hit me up. But AJ Meehan, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Thank you for being a member of the MOBB, who writes, worth every goddamn penny. Make that 5-0 at Lucas Oil for Mr. Terry. 2-0 in the regular season, 2-0 in the playoffs, and now 1-0 as a pro. Or actually 2-0 in high school, 2-0 in college, and now 1-0 in the pros. So it was a great. It started off slow for Terry. It did have the 42-yard catch in the first half, but really not much else to speak of. But when we needed him the most, Terry did the thing that he always does. He comes up huge for us in the clutch. How many of you had a heart attack in this game? There were a lot of those going on in the MOBB. I'd love to know how many of you, felt your heart jumping out of your chest as Heinicke completed that pass to Terry. Unbelievable. Take command for life. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Thank you for being a member of the MOBB, who writes, it's a shaky ride, but I got my seatbelt on back. Seatbelt back on. I got out of the whip, like I said. So I'm still walking. This team, man, they're like the cardiac kids, man. They really, really pull at your heartstrings. Like, we can't ever do anything comfortably. Like, we should have won this game. And the Colts did some good things in this game, and they turned it over, and they missed opportunities, yeah. But we had our own opportunities, and we didn't take advantage. And so I hated that it had to come down to the way that it did, but I think that's more of an indication that Taylor Heinicke, there's something there with that dude, man. Something there with him. Double up. Thank you for doubling up. Take command for life, who writes, it's a shaky ride, but I got my seatbelt back on. We just read that. A lot of y'all have your seatbelt back on. A number of us got out of the whip. You couldn't get me to wrap my brain around us being 4-4 after the 1-4 start. That loss to the Titans was bad. Just think about what if we had won that game. I don't like to go back and have revisionist history. It is what it is. We didn't get it done, but just imagine had we won that game. We'd be 5-3 right now. But I never thought 4-4 would be possible after the 1-4 start. But here we are, back to 500. Big game against the Minnesota Vikings next week. Kirk coming back to the crib. We got a lot of time to talk about that. Well, let's continue to celebrate. Celebrate! We got it done today. FL Toos, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Thank you for being a member of the MOBB, who writes, Ronald the Clown and Scott deserve to hitchhike back to Virginia. Give them time to clear their minds. They do the most to lose games every week, but TH4. I absolutely abhorred some of the calls. That's on a weekly basis, though. You know, I will say Scott Turner did have some creativity. We finally saw the tight end screen. We hadn't seen it since week 1. So I was happy about Amani Rodgers getting the touch in the screen game. Did some cute things with Curtis Samuel, you know, fake the gun run and had Heineke run a speed option and flip it to Curtis Samuel. We did some creative things. But you had a 4th down where we just ran it up the middle and it had no chance, no creativity whatsoever there. I talked about the first half, the end of the first half, which was just disgusting, how much time they wasted. And the Heineke slide, it's reminiscent of the Green Bay game last year where they said he gave himself up. But it was gross negligence on their part, how they squandered an opportunity right before the half. Just utterly ridiculous. In a game, you know, points are going to be hard to come by. You can see it already. Even a field goal right before half, huge. But they got it done, though. Edward Washington, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Thank you for being a member of the MOBB, who writes, this team overcame bad coaching today. I think there were some situations. Yeah, absolutely. I've already laid out a couple of them. But Ron rolled the dice on the 4th down. He could have easily punted the football there, down 16-7. But he went for it on 4th down, and Heineke made him right. Great route by Curtis Samuel. And so, you know, it's a give and take with this staff. You know, you're going to have to take the good with the bad. Somebody said I wasn't on the edge of my seat. I was on the floor. B-Hat, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Who writes, these Taylor Heineke wins feel so much better than a Carson Wentz win. Love me some Heineke Ultra. I think we all do. We wanted Wentz to be the guy, but again, for the second consecutive week, I feel comfortable saying this. If we have Carson Wentz at quarterback, we don't win this game. I can't confirm nor deny that. And last week, I felt like was a lot more easy to see that. But Heineke had 6 rushes for 29 or 30 yards or whatever. He had some big throws in the game. I don't know if Carson Wentz does that. I don't. So, wow. That was crazy. CGM 87. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Who writes, Scott combined Al Saunders and Zorn's playbooks. Shaking my head. Al Saunders had a damn good playbook. It was a lot. Now, Zorn, on the other hand, trash. So, yeah, it can be frustrating at times, for sure. Take command for life. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Who writes, this offense will play better when Jahan is back. And you know what's crazy? And I talked about this last week. There's a chance that we're going to get Jahan, Diami, Chase, and Sam Cosmi all back next week. So the thought of this team potentially getting even better, scary. Now, all bets are off when we talk about a hamstring. We've already seen that with Jahan. So we've been here with him before. Thought we were close, and then he re-aggravated. And so no guarantees. But we know they're going to start the shot clock on Chase next week. Doesn't mean he's going to play next week. TJ Watt had his clock started this week with the Steelers, and he didn't play this week. So it's not a guarantee that because they start your shot clock, you're going to suit up and be activated. But I like our chances to get a lot of these guys back next week. So, yeah. Adding Jahan to this offense with another weapon for Heineke to get the football to, I think it could potentially be lethal. We'll see. Heavy K, Commander fan. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Thank you for being a member of the MOBB who writes, sweating in my seatbelt ride, but made it through. Look, man, I was so frustrated with this game. Multiple times, I looked at this team and the opportunities wasted and squandered in this game. And, you know, the interception, and then they scored a touchdown. And I kept telling them, this feels like the Denver game. When we were up 7-6, I said, this feels like the Denver game from last year. You know, 4:25 window in the evening. You're sitting there. You're like, man, we should win this game. Opportunities galore. Find a way to squander them, and the Broncos steal a win. I think they beat us 17-10. Just felt exactly like that. And it was heading that way for a minute. But then, dun-da-da, ultra, 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 to save the day. It's going to be hard to take him out of the lineup. You see how the players respond to him. I can't wait to watch the victory post-game clip that they're going to give us. And then we're going to see some still shots of the locker room last week. Jonathan Allen was like literally holding him like a little baby, like an infant, looking at him into his eyes like, bro, I love you. You know, they love Taylor Heinicke, man. They rally around Taylor Heinicke. It's going to be hard. With him doing things like this, it's going to be hard to take him out of the lineup if this continues. Darnell Kelly, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Thank you for being a member of the MOBB who writes, come on, Lou. I need nitro pills at 42 Washington fan. Shaking my head. Look, I can tell you this. When I was watching, you know, the game and we were all excited after the touchdown, all I can think of is 22 seconds left. We've lost games with less time left in ball games. Who doesn't remember the Matthew Stafford game from 2020? Like, I never was comfortable. And Ehlinger made a throw that would have put them right around midfield, only needing about 10 yards to at least give them an opportunity to hurt our heads. So I wasn't like all gung-ho yet. Not until, you know, once we kept them inbounds and they had to use their last timeout and there was only 5 seconds left, I'm like, okay, we got them now. It'd take a miracle for us to find a way to squander this. So, and James Smith-Williams, I love the fact that he ended that. No suspense, no Hail Mary, no craziness, no laterals, none of that shit. Let's end it right now. Nick Caps, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Thank you for being a member of the MOBB who writes, I just told Ron you jumped out of the car and he said, that's interesting, not important. That sounds about right. Because either you're with us or you're against us. And he's like, okay, that's interesting. It's not important because if you don't believe, then you don't believe. I'm not mad at him. I'm not glad at him. Nick Caps, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Double up. Thank you for doubling up, Nick Caps, who writes, good news, Lou. I talked to TH4. He's trailing behind on that train. You better get on that Heineken train. Look, man. For the second consecutive week, Heineke showed you exactly what he is. There's good Heineke, and there's bad Heineke. There's more good this year than there was bad last year. But like I said, he showed me something down 9. He didn't press. Last year, he would have pressed and he would have threw another pick. Or he would have made a mistake and he would have fumbled the football. He would have done something that would have taken any opportunity from this team to win this game and flushed it down the toilet. I.e. the Saints game or the Chiefs game. But that didn't happen. He kept calm. He kept his poise. He let us down the field. We got a field goal. The defense got a big stop. Daron Payne hustling, getting to Sam Ehlinger, forcing them to punt. And we had to go like 90 yards on that final drive. 89, 90 yards, something like that. And we methodically marched it down the field, got a big play from Terry, a couple of big runs, well, one big run in particular to get out of bounds and get a first down by Heineke. that throw to Cam Sims, thing of beauty, and voila, you're in a position to win the football game. He made some big plays on that final drive. Frankie, yo, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Thank you for being a member of the MOBB, who writes, my word, if the world used screens to block the sun, the entire world would have melanoma by now. Also, props to 52 for stepping up today. 4 and 4 feels so good compared to 3 and 5. You ain't never lie. Our screen game is trash because our offensive linemen don't block. Like, that screen had potential if one guy gets blocked. We got 4 offensive linemen out there, and nobody touches the linebacker, Zaire Franklin. He makes a tackle. Unbelievable. I've been so frustrated with the lack of athleticism from our offensive linemen in the screen game. It's not even funny. You're not lying. Props to 52. What a big play, man. What a big play by Jamin Davis. You don't win this game. First of all, shout out to Bobby McCain. Like, we're going to give a ton of credit to Jamin Davis, but Jamin Davis isn't put in that position to make that play if Bobby McCain doesn't keep Michael Pittman Jr. out of the end zone. So, got to give credit to Bobby McCain there. And then Jamin Davis making that huge play. So, you ain't never lie, man. 4 and 4 feels so much different than 3 and 5. Light years different. I told y'all a long time ago. I said Ron's good for a 4-game heater. At some point, he's proven it here in Washington. The first 2 years, 4-game heater at some point. Normally, it comes late in the season when we're already 2-6 or 1-5 or something to that effect. It was 2-7 in 2020, and it was 2-6 in 2021. But it came a lot earlier this year. You know, we're now 3 games in a row. Got a chance next week. It's not going to be easy. I'm not looking forward to Justin Jefferson and company coming here because those guys are dynamic and explosive, and I don't trust our secondary. However, again, we got plenty of time to talk about that. I just want to savor this. I want to enjoy this because we literally snatched victory from the jaws of defeat tonight. And usually that doesn't happen for us. Normally that happens to us. Miss Perry. All right. She sent me all the early soups. So I'm going to go ahead and grab these real quick. Man, what a win. I'm so excited. It was ugly, but it was effective. All right, let's get in here and see what's going on. I started with AJ Meehan. I did. So Ninja X. Stand up. You are now officially the newest member of the MOBB. So glad to have you. I feel like you've been here before, but whatever the case may be, come on in. So glad to have you on board. Look forward to chopping up with you. Welcome to the squad. Same can be said for Andrew Garrett. Stand up, Andrew. You are officially the newest member of the MOBB Mob. Y'all know what to do. Show Andrew some love. Welcome him with open arms. Andrew, you see what this ride is like. I can't wait to have you on board and look forward to chopping it up with you, man. Welcome to the squad, Andrew Garrett. Joshua Farish. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. My guy Joshua Farish writes, Lou, I don't understand why it took Scott Turner so long to open up the playbook. Terry is a dog. I don't either, man. Like that deep dig to Cam Sims, like why did it take us until that final drive? And I get it. You get different looks from teams when they're playing kind of prevent defense, and so things might be a little bit more open than they were earlier in the game. I understand that concept, but felt like there were opportunities, you know, throughout the course of this game, and we just, for whatever reason, you know, weren't aggressive enough. That was the theme. I didn't think we were aggressive enough throughout this game. I agree with you, Joshua. JC2 Fly. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Writes, Scary Terry says, Happy Halloween. Happy Halloween indeed. I told y'all, man, shit gets real spooky like the shit you see in a movie, man. Terry over here busting dudes over their noodle on Halloween, man, day before Halloween. Told you it gets real spooky this time of the year, man. Unfortunately, Stephon Gilmore had to find out the hard way. 6 for 113. If nothing else, this team is resilient. I still think we're far from a good football team. But if there's nothing else you can say about this team, is that they're resilient. This is a resilient bunch. Take command for life. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Who writes, it's too close to Halloween for the Colts. Scary T. Man. Boy, do I love me some Terry McLaurin, man. Damn. I've been waiting for a dude like this for a long time on our team. You know? And there's a lot of people that didn't feel like Terry was, you know, top this or top that. I honestly, I don't know where he falls, but he's our guy, and he's a dog, a flat out dog. You can put him wherever you want. But to tell me he's not a top 100 player in this league, give me a break. Give me a break. Commander Optimistic 4-4. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Who writes, thank you for being a member of the MOBB. Who writes, left hand up. Who are we? The Commanders. Hashtag let's ride. Hey, I don't claim that. Okay. I don't know if some of y'all are being facetious. Y'all joking. I don't claim that. All right. But you go right ahead. I won't stop you. All right. Swaggy P, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Swaggy P writes, I told you last week it's going to be a heart attack. It's going to be heart attack wins for us. Terry showing out for his hometown. Hashtag HTTC. Hashtag the legend of Heineke grows. Ultra, 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 ultra. You did. You said it's going to be a heart attack, but we know this. This is a fact. This is who we are. This is what we're going to be moving forward. I never thought we were going to win this game once we got down 16-7. Never, ever. Crazy. DJ Walker, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. DJ writes, what up, Big Lou? What up? What's up, DJ? I swore we were going to lose this game, but the legend of Heineke is alive, and T-Mac can be GOAT receiver in this franchise. Absolutely he can. Absolutely he can. And look, there's a guy named Arthur Monk, so you need to pump your brakes and drive slow. And there's Ricky Sanders, and really it's Gary Clark, and it's Arthur Monk. Those are the two guys that, you know, to me are in a class of their own in terms of receiver. And we've had some good ones here. You know, Santana was a really good one for us, but I think Terry, when it's all said and done, going to have a better career than the Tana man here in Washington. Because of the quarterback play, I don't think he'll come anywhere close to Arthur Monk. But you know, in the moment, we're going to love Terry, right? And some of you who, you know, are prisoners of the moment, you're going to elevate him over Arthur Monk, but you can't do that. When Arthur Monk left the game, he had the most catches in NFL history. So Terry will never be that guy. But when we need a play, we know who to dial up. Let me get 17 on the line. So he could be one of the best in this franchise's history for sure. I didn't think we were going to win this game either, man. I didn't think at all, DJ. Take command for life. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Who writes, a win is a win in the National Football League. You damn right it is. I say it all the time. A win is a win in the National Football League. How sweet it is to be 4-4 instead of 3-5. How sweet it is. John Perez, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you, my guy. JP writes, that's 3 in a row, Lou, and we're at 500 with the chance to get to 5-4 next week with reinforcements potentially on the way. Absolutely. Now, we're going to have to play much better than we did this week. We're going to have to play closer to the way we played last week against Green Bay if we plan on beating the Minnesota Vikings. That team can score points. I won't say that they won't beat themselves. We've seen them self-destruct, but we're not the Philadelphia Eagles. So I don't know if we can make them self-destruct, but we got an opportunity to go into that Eagles game on a Monday night with a ton of momentum. A ton of it. The Vikings stand in the way of that. And like you said, reinforcements may be on the way. I couldn't be more elated with the position that we put ourselves in after the 1-4 start, because I didn't think we would be here. Hell, just 30 minutes ago, I didn't think we would be here. Take command for life. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Who writes, why are they trying to give my mom and me a heart attack? Every week. You should be used to this. Every week. This one was a little bit more extreme, though. Right? This one was, I mean, when that ball was in the air, going to Terry, I had no doubts that he would come down with it if he could get his hands on it. But just the fact that Heinicke was able to navigate the traffic, again, great protection on that play. You know, we'll overlook that because everybody wants to talk about Terry and Heinicke. The offensive line was tremendous on that particular snap. The only reason he was able to do that is because of the protection he got from the offensive line. A193. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Thank you for being a member of the MOBB, who writes, Terry out here passing out candy to kids. Taylor earned himself another week, but Scott didn't help him. I agree with that. But I can tell you this, Taylor is making Scott look a lot better. And we knew that. We knew that coming in, that Taylor was going to be able to do some things that Carson just isn't capable of doing because of his lack of time on task in this offense. And Heinicke's been in this offense for 6 seasons, so he knows this thing front and back, which is why I think he needs to open it up. JB Johnson, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. My guy JB writes, what up, Lou? What's up, JB? We are still trash because of Scott. No sense of urgency until he has to. Any other team wins this game by at least 2 touchdowns. You're not wrong. What kills me with this team, and I said it at the top of the show, is the lack of urgency that this team shows. Like you said, until it's necessary. And even that last drive, I didn't think that the sense of urgency was necessarily there. We got bailed out by the Colts having to burn a timeout, and then Heinicke was able to run out of bounds. But the lack of urgency is something that bothers me to no end. To no end. And I'm with you. We should have won this game by, I don't know, 2 scores, but we should have won this game. Yeah, I guess 2 scores, because I'm thinking we should have won this game by like 10 points. So that's 2 scores. King of the North, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Thank you for being a member of the MOBB, who writes, biggest difference between 4 and all other QBs we've had is 4 knows when in doubt, just give Terry a chance. It's not hard. It's not rocket science. They asked him last week, you know, why do you go to Terry in those situations? He's like, because he's our best receiver. Like, it's not rocket science. I always talk about football not being as hard as people make it out to be. A lot of times when you get into these critical situations, it's less about, X's and O's, and it's more about Jimmys and Joes. Essentially, what I'm saying is you got to get the ball in the hands of playmakers. To hell with all of this scheming up shit and these mesh concepts. Get it to 17. That's what we did with the game on the line. Big play by Cam Sims as well. And you're right. Heinicke knows when I need it, I got to go to 17. Dante Lee, thank you for the sticker, super sticker. Greatly appreciate you. Dante Lee, thank you for the super sticker. Rashad Coker, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Rashad writes, like I said last week, Terry is my wide receiver 1. I don't think that's up for debate anymore. And I've been saying that for years now. You know, when Chris Cooley was like, I don't think he's a number 1. You know, there was a time where Kevin Sheen was like, I'm not sure he's a number 1. And I'm like, I don't know what these guys are watching, but I see a number 1 and I see a dog. I think everybody's on board now. If you weren't before, I think he's made a believer out of you. Scary Terry, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Thank you for being a member of the MOBB, who writes, McKissick needs some new shoes, stumbles every play. I'm sick of that shit with J.D. McKissick. He almost cost us the game. That thing was blocked up beautifully. He would have walked to the first down, and he stayed tripping and stumbling over his own damn feet or the turf. Turf monster, stay reaching up and grabbing him. He's got he's got that Clinton Portis balance. Terrible ass balance. Shit is horrendous, and I'm sick of it. I really, truly am. Sick of that shit. I was so hot when he fell down and made it 4th and 2. You kidding me? Scary Terry. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Double up. Thank you for doubling up. Who writes, McKissick needs some new shoes, stubbles on every play. We read that one already. Jason Rogers. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Thank you for being a member of the MOBB. My guy, Uncle Jay, writes, a bunch of ghost emojis. Scary hours, man. Scary hours. All right. So that is all of the supers that I had missed. Now we get back to that. Thank you for that, Condo P. FL Toos. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Double up. Thank you for doubling up. Who writes, TH4 playing well enough to win these games comfortably, but Ronald the Clown holding everyone back. Scott Turner, his jester sidekick. Look, we've already talked about this. Ronald is an old school guy. So he's more in the mindset of, hey, like if he had a dude at quarterback like Cam Newton, I think he would be more receptive to opening the thing up. But I think he feels like his best opportunity is to be conservative, like we did last year. Remember, I told you, I said I hate that he keeps bringing up the 4-game win streak last year because we were barely winning. And yeah, it was cool. And look, I'll take it any way I can get it, you know. But I'm like, that shit shouldn't be the standard. Like, you shouldn't be trying to win games 17-15. You shouldn't be trying to win games 17-16. Like, in this league, you take them any way you can get them. So I'm not going to sit here and chastise them and wag my finger at them for winning 17-16 because we would have been singing a whole different tune had we lost this game 16-10. So I'm not going to sit here and act like I'm not excited, elated for the 17-16 victory, but it doesn't have to be this way. I think that's why most of us are so frustrated. It doesn't have to be this way. Ricky D. Hustle. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Ricky D. writes, Lou, I almost cried after the win because these are the games we lose season after season. And I've been begging for this team to dig deep and take the win. Good win, and Terry is that dude. All right, so I'm just going to tell you this. You can't be crying after regular season victories against the Indianapolis Colts that get you to 4-4 on the season, okay? Now, you can do whatever you want, Ricky, but what I'm telling you is, and you said you almost, so I'll allow that to slide, but understand, it was the Indianapolis Colts with a first-time starting quarterback, a 3-3-1 team. Like, but you're right. To your point, these are the games that we've lost in the past, and we always lose these games. We don't win these games. i.e. the Tennessee game earlier this season. We don't win these games. So this was a big win. And as I mentioned, Taylor showed some resiliency and I talked about it last week. I said Taylor showed resiliency after the pick 6 last week against the Green Bay Packers. Something that he lacked often last year, except for the Giants game, when he threw that pick to James Bradbury. Took us right back down the field, got us in the field goal range. But most times when he threw a pick, he exacerbated that problem, threw another pick, made another mistake, and it snowballed. He stayed within himself. He never tried to do anything. I really think he's growing. His confidence is growing. He's never been one to shy away from these types of moments, and he's always believed in himself. But I think it hits different when your teammates start to believe in you, and that's what you're seeing. They think that if we could just get the ball back to 4, he's going to give us a chance to win. And normally that's reserved for one of the elites, Mahomes, Brady, Rodgers, Allen. Normally that kind of statement is reserved for a guy that is a league MVP, done it at a high level, but Heineke's galvanizing this group, and they're looking at him and saying, hey, if we give 4 a chance, he's going to give us a chance. You can't buy that. That's priceless. Carson Wentz doesn't have that. I'm not saying. I'm just saying. And Terry is that dude. Mr. Pink, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Thank you for being a member of the MOBB who writes, Lou, uneffing real. Put it on his shirt, LT. That's exactly how I felt after that touchdown. Uneffing real. You kidding me? You kidding me or what, man? Red Wings 01. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Thank you for being a member of the MOBB who writes, Lou, it's All Hallows Eve. Things are looking scary out here tonight. There's some spooky shit going on in Indy. Got a vengeful spirit on the loose. Damn, it feels good to be a gangster. We took that shit from them at the end. Damn, it felt good to be a gangster. Again, that's that spooky shit. Now, I'd much rather have, Terry go off for 3 touchdowns like A.J. Brown did and win going away. That's really what we strive to be. But that's not where we are. And I've said this. After each win, I said, guys, these are the games that we're going to win, and this is how we're going to win them, if we're going to win them. It's going to be by 1. It's going to be by 2, because that's how we're built right now. Commander Wow. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you, who writes, what's up, Lou? Been gone too long. So glad to have you back. Winning will do that. Says, but anyway, Terry, though, he is definitely that guy. Showed out for those 70 he put in the seats, worth every dollar. Hashtag HTTC, hashtag we ready. Absolutely. I couldn't be more excited for him. Because it meant a big deal to him. He tried to downplay it during the week, talked about how it's not that big of a deal. Our goal is to go there, get a win. I don't want to make this about me, but trust me, he really wanted to show up and show out in front of family and friends. And he did that. And, the commentator said, this is my city. Terry said, this is my city. He also said, this is my shit. This is my shit. This is my city. You damn right it is. RVA Monarch, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Thank you for being a member of the MOBB who writes, it's real scary out here. Scary mother effing Terry. Indeed. Say it again a little bit louder for those in the back that are hard of hearing. They need to hear that. Dylan Graham, thank you for the super chat. Or stand up, Dylan. You are the newest member of the MOBB. Mob, you know what to do. Show Dylan some love. Welcome him with open arms to the MOBB. Looking forward to chopping it up with you, Dylan. Welcome to the squad. Matthew, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Thank you for being a member of the MOBB. Matthew writes, Ron and Scott need to take the training wheels off, Lou. We have talented players on offense, but our O-line is not good. He was harassed all game, HTTC. And I think that's part of the reason why maybe they don't, why they're not as aggressive. I think you might be able to do that a little bit more so next week. I'm anxious to see what Ron decides to do. He really wants Trey Turner in there. I want to see what they decide to do. I can't wait to watch the film to see how Trey Turner played, if he was any better, because Ron claims he was healthy now. I want to see if he played any better or if he still looked like the Trey Turner that got benched early in the season. If he does, then you got to put Sadiq back in or Wes Schweitzer. And nobody asked about Wes last week, but that's another guy that we may be able to get back this week. So, the reinforcements, as JP said, they may be on the way. He definitely was harassed. I agree. Charles Leno, I kept trying to tell y'all, because people kept advocating for Charles Leno to stay at right tackle, or excuse me, not Charles Leno, Cornelius Lucas to stay at right tackle and kick Sam Cosmi inside. I'm like, I don't know if y'all are really paying attention, but Cornelius Lucas is a really good, one of the better swing tackles in the league, but I don't think he's better than Sam Cosmi at tackle. So I would prefer them to put Cosmi back in at right tackle, and I think that's what they're ultimately going to do. Kevin, the PRF, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Thank you for being a member of the MOBB, who writes, took 6 weeks, but Turner finally opened all your emails about the tight end screen. Damn, I had to beg, scream, kick, cry for him to finally run one. I'm like, dude, week 1, dude got like 25 yards on a tight end screen. Super athletic. He made a hell of a catch. That was a one-hand stab. Amani Rodgers is showing you that he's super talented. He needs to be more involved. And he don't have to have 5 or 6 targets, just 2 or 3 a game. And one can be a tight end screen. Do you know that the Rams run at least 6 tight end screens every game? Now, they're a much better screen team than we are, but damn, why did it have to take this long to get another tight end screen? And it worked again. Red Wings 01. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Double up. Right. I got to hand it to Taylor. Whenever I count him out, he pulls a magic trick out of his hat and flabbergasts me. We can't win scoring 17 a game, though. I said this last year. We did the same shit last year. 17-15 twice. Raiders and Seahawks. You know, the first two games of that 4-game win streak were impressive. You know, 29-19 over the Bucks, and then I think it was 24-20 over the Panthers or something to that effect. Impressive wins. The 17-15 shit, 17-16 today, that ain't hitting on nothing. Because you're not going to beat good offenses. Hell, if the Colts don't fumble twice, if they just fumble once and kick a field goal, they win. Like, you got to have so many things go wrong to win a game scoring 17 points. We had to tighten up. Let's see. Barrett Downing. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Thank you for being a member of the MOBB. My guy BD writes, another heart attack for me, but I'll take it. Get in line, man. Everybody's over here suffering from the same heart palpitations. I've talked about the defibrillator. You know, my wife was sitting here watching the game with me, and she was like, I can't take this shit. She left 3 times and came back. And after the Taylor pick, she was done. She was like, yeah, we lost. I thought the same thing. And, you know, we inched back closer. We got to stop Deron Payne, big play. And you get the opportunity. And I didn't see us doing what we did. All right. So just so y'all know, I'm going to be watching the Packers and Bills game simultaneously as we doing this live stream. So y'all bear with me because I want to watch this game and be able to do a stream afterwards. So I'll be looking over at my monitor as I'm talking to y'all periodically to see what's going on. Another heart attack game, but who's not going to take the dub? You know what I'm saying, BD? Leno Ryan Benvenite. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Thank you for being a member of the MOBB who writes, take the dub anyway, anyhow. Amen. Terry equals the man. I couldn't agree with you more. Couldn't agree with you more. Cole, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Thank you for being a member of the MOBB who writes, 4-4, baby. Cheers, Lou. Celebrate. We 4-4, man. Scratched and clawed our way out of the basement from 1-4 to 4-4. Now, we're still in last place, but now we can say this with pride. No team in the NFC East has a losing record. I told y'all I wanted to be a part of the NFC East resurgence. Now we can actually enter our name into the fray, right? Because when you're 3-5 or you're 3-4, don't nobody want to hear from you. You're under 500. But now, as a total aggregate, we're the only division without a team under 500. No other division can say that. So now we're actually a part of this renaissance. Feels good, feels good. Now we got to continue to be. One loss and you're right back under 500 and don't nobody want to hear from you again. Hell yeah, Co. Commander 17. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Who writes, hey, Lou, them haters can't stand us. They call us the Commanders. 17 is our dog. Yeah, my sister calls us the Commodores. I like, you damn hater. I love it. Stick that in your pipe and smoke it. Metaphor. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Thank you for being a member of the MOBB. Metaphor writes, you walk in, Lou, whip stop at the next exit waiting for you. I appreciate that, man. I appreciate that. If y'all willing to swing back around and come get the kid, I'm definitely looking to get back in, but I don't feel like I'm worthy because normally I'm the voice of reason. I'm the guy that tells y'all, hey, hang in there. That Tennessee Titans loss was so debilitating that I jumped the gun. All I had to do was hang in there. And I said it before we went into that Titans game. I said, I'm not getting out of the whip unless we lose to both the Titans and the Bears. And that Titans loss was so debilitating that I went against what I said, which was I wasn't getting out. I said I would unbuckle my safety belt. if we lost to the Titans, and if we lost to the Bears, I'm jumping out of the whip while it's moving. I never gave myself a chance to do that. So I deserve what I got. Anthony Barnwell, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. My guy, Anthony Barnwell, writes, just wait until the rest of the wide receiver core comes back. Not saying, I'm just saying. Indeed. And again, we don't know when that's going to happen. I think Diami is closer than Jahan is because Diami's been out with that groin for a while, and he never re-aggravated it. Well, maybe he did against the Bears. We'll see. But it's amazing how deep we are, that you can still go to Cam Sims. Shout out to my guy, Triple OG, who said, hey, Cam Sims needs more opportunities. Didn't get a ton, but when he got one, he made the most of it. And that's what he's always done here in Washington, is take advantage of the opportunities that are given to him. The great Watubi, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Thank you for being a member of the MOBB, who writes, I told Ron to turn the car around for you. I appreciate all of y'all advocating for me. And again, if he can find it in his heart to allow me back in the whip, I'd appreciate that. Because I told y'all he was going to go on a 4-game heater, and we're 1 game away from doing that. And I was telling y'all this when we were 1-2, when we were 1-3. And after 1-4 to losing to the Titans, that's when I was like, okay, maybe this shit ain't happening this year. You know, I allowed myself to doubt, and I know better. Rob Yu, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Thank you for being a member of the MOBB, who writes, Lou, this thing was nuts. The thought of losing a game that the other team wants to gift you is unreal. So glad they found a way to get it done. Man, you ain't lying. I was so distraught when it got to 16-7. I'm watching the Giants game. I'm watching the 49ers game. I'm watching the Titans game simultaneously with our game. And I just walked away from the other games for a second because I was so frustrated. Like, my favorite cartoon was Heathcliff. And Iggy was the name of the owner of Spike. And Iggy would go to Spike after Heathcliff would kick his ass again. And he would say, Spike, how could you let that cat ink you again? He said, I'm ashamed of you. He said, no, I'm mortified. That's how I felt about Washington when we were down 16-7. How could you allow this Colts team to beat you with a quarterback that's making his first career start in the NFL? How? They fumbled twice. How? Why are we here? Why are we about to lose to this team? But we got it done. You're right. It's unreal. A team is trying to gift you a dub, and you're pushing it back, saying, I don't want it. Red Wing 01, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Who writes, you can tell Taylor allows Scott to do things. He does. Because, again, Scott can trust him with these play calls. Even the 4th down call to Curtis Samuel. You can't throw that ball if that's – I don't trust Carson Wentz to make an accurate throw there to Samuel on that play. That's a 4th and 2. He threw that ball, 20 yards, 15, 20 yards down the field. I don't trust Carson Wentz to do that accurately. I think he does. And we knew that. We said that before Taylor made his first start. Like, he's going to open up this offense and give Scott more flexibility because of all the things he can do, because of his familiarity with the playbook. So that's not even something that, is shocking to any of us. Lynn O'Ryan Benvenite, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Double up. Thank you for doubling up. Who writes, feels good. How was the O-line today, Lou? Turner. The O-line, I thought it was okay. It wasn't great. I wasn't impressed with their performance. But again, Heineke makes the offensive line look better than what it is at times with his mobility. So Turner, I thought Turner had some creativity in the run game at times, but then when we needed some creativity on the 4th down, he didn't get it done. You see something? What's up? Okay. Y'all, I'll be right back. Okay. Right back. Hang tight.
You just started gagging and you just started pulling. So it's all of the English and all the back of my thing. Ready? Okay, big boy. Yeah. I just took the bucket off the bed.
All right. Sorry about that. My little man had an accident. Told y'all he was going through it. We all going through it around here, as you can see. So Turner was okay in the run game. Thought he did some creative things, but then when we needed some creativity on 4th and 1, we didn't get it. But he made some solid calls. Again, I don't like the lack of urgency in the 2-minute drill. I just thought that too often we put ourselves behind the sticks. We were not good on third downs. Let me look at the third down percentage for us in this game. At one point, we were 2 of 9. So I know we weren't good on third downs. We were 2 of 12 on third down. And a lot of that was because we were often behind the sticks, like big time. We throw a screen to Antonio Gibson and lose 3 yards. We tried a throw. Heineke threw a screen out there and it lost 7 yards. It would have been a fumble if Terry didn't catch it. I think it was to Terry. Like too many of those kind of plays where you find yourself in 3rd and 9 or 3rd and 13. Like you're not going to convert that. Ramon Taylor, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Thank you for the super chat, Ramon Taylor. Red Wing 01. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Who writes, someone tell JD to tie his damn cleats. I told y'all in the MOBB, I said, I'm sick of this shit. as much as I love JD, I'm sick of his ass falling down with nobody touching him. This shit is getting out of control now. Like, that could have cost us the game. Understand that was a 3rd and 3. And there was at least 5 yards of operating room, and he falls down after a gain of 1. You got to be effing kidding me, man. Rob, you. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Double up. Thank you for doubling up, Rob, you, who writes, more Forrest, less Bobby. Bobby was good today. Bobby was good today. For the second time this year, he forced a fumble in the game, forced a fumble week 1 against the Jags, forced a fumble today on Jonathan Taylor, but Bobby played well today. He did. Pierce HB. Stand up. You are the newest member of the MOBB. Pierce, come on in. Mob, you know what to do. Show Pierce HB some love. Welcome him to the MOBB. Show him what it's like to be a part of the greatest group of Washington Commander fans in the game. Look forward to chopping it up with you, Pierce. Welcome to the squad. Jaden Doffelmeyer. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Jaden writes, Lou, this is the type. He said, Lou, this is the 4-game win streak we always go on. Don't buy into the hype. The season was over after week 2. You might be right. You might be absolutely right. But this is the thing. As a fan, I don't want the season over in September or October. And by us winning these games the way that we did, it ensures that we'll be playing meaningful games into November and possibly into December. That's all I want. So you're not wrong. This might be fool's gold. I mean, we haven't been impressive. I thought we were somewhat impressive last week against Green Bay. But, I mean, yeah, I understand where you're coming from. But at the same time, let's just see where it goes. The league is wide open, unlike it's been in past years where you had dominant teams. Only dominant team in the NFC right now is the Philadelphia Eagles. So let's just see where this goes. Billy A., thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Thank you for being a member of the MOBB, who writes, crazy everyone was doubting the defense this summer. I never doubted because they have proven they can beat bad teams. I don't know why everyone was convinced the offense was going to be the catalyst. It's the defense. While I hear you on that, and you're right about that, they did it in 2020, consistently beat up bad offenses. They still haven't been great this year. They've been good at certain points. Like, let's keep it a buck. The Colts moved the ball in this game. All right. They now, one fumble was created, and the other was Sam Ehlinger just being loose with the rock. But still, at the end of the day, they created some turnovers. They got some stops. They bent, but they never broke, and you got to give them credit for that. But the Colts moved the football on us. So I need them to be better, but the turnovers are huge. I always tell you, if you really want to see how a game is won or lost, go to 2 stats in particular. Turnover margin, turnover differential, and red zone efficiency. Washington had 1 turnover, the Heineke pick. The Colts had 2 turnovers. Washington was 2 of 3 in the red zone. The Colts were 1 of 3. That's the difference in the game right there. If Michael Pittman scores, or on that 3rd down, Jamin Davis doesn't knife in and make the play, they win the game. It's really simple. Benjamin Slate, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Benjamin writes, any chance we are buyers at the deadline? O-line? No, we're not buyers. Ron already said he's not looking to move anybody, and I don't think he's interested in trading for anyone. So, no, I don't think we're going to be a part of any activity during the trade deadline. Swaggy P, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Swaggy P writes, double up, thank you for doubling up, who writes, this game reminded me of the 2017 Seahawks game when Dotson dove and caught it at the 1 with little time left, and Fat Rob punched it in after. Did Fat Rob punch it in, or did Kirk quarterback sneak that in afterwards? Whatever the case may be. That game was a little different because we were so banged up. There were dudes that showed up on Saturday and had to wear name tags so we knew who they were on the offensive line. We were so banged up, and we went there and we won that game. This was a little different, but I get where you're talking about from the standpoint of making that big play at the end, catching it at the 1, and then running it in with little time left. I think that's more so what you're talking about. Yeah, it did give me a little bit of those vibes from that perspective. Your mom's favorite player. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Thank you for the super chat once again. Greatly appreciate you. Al Butts. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Who writes, big win. Heading down from New York next week with my boy, who is a diehard Vikings fan. Today, win makes the trip. Where's the party at? I love it. I mean, this win makes the game next week that much more important. You lose that game, you're 3-5, and that game doesn't have nearly as much meaning. Now you're 4-4 with a chance to get over 500. This game is huge. Huge. Mutib Khan, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Thank you for being a member of the MOBB, who writes, Lou, I was on the injury report just like you. Flu season is the worst. Great team win. If we win next week, should Wentz be concerned about his spot? I do think I've said that he needed to win all 4 games because I really do think Ron and company want to go back to Carson and prove that they were right about making that move. But I think it's going to be hard to go away from Heineke with the belief that the players have in him. I think it's going to be tough to go away from him. Look at Josh Allen, man. So I think Wentz should be concerned about his spot, but we'll see. Still 2 games left. Ron said this. We'll cross that bridge when we get there. I believe him. Frank Brown, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Frank writes, what's up, Lou? What's up, Frank? Says, man, we got all 3 sides of Heineke today. Non-alcoholic, light, and ultra. Yeah, absolutely. He says, and why McKissick been slipping and sliding lately? You said lately like he ain't been doing that his whole career here in Washington. He always been slipping and sliding. You're right. We did get all of the Heinekes today. 0 alcoholic or non-alcoholic, light, and ultra. Absolutely. I couldn't agree with you more. The great Watubi, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Double up. Thank you for doubling up. Who writes, line is Vikings 3-point favorites now. That sounds about right. We haven't been favored in any of the games that we've won this season, except for the Jacksonville game. So I'm not shocked that and again, the Vikings are a better football team than we are. They're 6-1 now. So yeah, they deserve to be favored in the game. But Vegas is telling you, hey, it's not as it's not as easy a win for them as you may think. Touchdown. All right. Red House, not Roadhouse. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Who writes, Wild Goose was a fool on the loose today. Yeah, I mean, that PI was so bad. I mean, he literally grabbed that guy's arm, and they were letting us play in a secondary. You had to really molest the dude to get called for PI. He was egregious with his, though. Like, I need him to be better than that. Rob Yu, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you, my guy. Rob Yu writes, Taylor is not the long-term answer, but he's our best option right now. It's all about wins, and I couldn't see Wentz winning these last 2 games. I agree with you. And I've said that a number of times. Like, Heineke is not the long-term answer here in Washington. And anybody that thinks he is, bless your heart. But what he is he's the best option that we have right now. And he gives us the best chance to win. And I don't think anybody can deny that. So that's kind of where I'm at with it as well, Rob. You. Syndigo. Sindeco, as I like to say. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Sindeco writes, great win. Completed my 17 parlay. I'll share. man, I know that you're a Panthers fan, obviously, and we haven't chopped it up in a minute, but that was a painful loss for your boys today. And I know you're probably not really interested in winning a whole bunch of games. You want a quarterback next year, and so I understand all of that. But whether you want to or not, and I've been telling people this, that division stinks. And so whether you want it or not, you're going to be right in that mix. 17 parlay, that's hard to do. Congratulations. Your mom's favorite player. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Double up. Thank you for doubling up. Who writes, Lou, why do we struggle against bad O-lines? That last play had me hyped. The legend continues. Does Gibby have his RB1 tag back yet? No, but I can tell you he started the game. They wanted to feature him early. So when we came out on the first possession, it was Antonio Gibson getting the first carry. It was Antonio Gibson catching the football out of the backfield. So I think they're going to just keep mixing it up. I think Gibson had more touches in this game than Brian Robinson did. Let's go and see. Nope, he had 7 carries. Robinson had 8. But the difference is Gibson caught it 7 times out of the backfield. So, and that's what I said. His sweet spot is anywhere from 10 to 17 touches. He had 15 in this game. Anything over that, I'm fine with 20 touches. But the sweet spot for him is anywhere from 10 to 17. And he had 15 in this game. 8 catches or 8 rushes, or excuse me, 7 rushes and 8 catches. Or 7 catches and 7 rushes. So 14 in this game. Why do we struggle against bad O-lines? I don't know. I thought we would get a little bit more pressure on him. I thought we actually got pressure, but we didn't do a great job of staying in our rush lanes. So he was able to slip out of there a couple of times. FAO bottom one a couple of times around the edge. And there were times where we won. Guys won one-on-one matchups, and he was able to get away and run. And so I don't think we did a particularly good job of staying in our rush lanes in this game. But I did think we would have a little bit more success getting pressure on him. King of the North, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. King of the North, double up. Thank you for doubling up, rights. Everybody mad at Scott, but I bet the film will show Taylor had opportunities down the field and was gunshot for 3.5 quarters. Defensive game, so I get being conservative, but you got to let it fly. And that may be the case. I contend that we were often behind the chains. And when you're 2 of 12 on third downs, which we were in this game, and that was more like when Wentz was under center than the last 2 games with Heineke, or the game last week with Heineke. I think we were consistently in third and long, and that's no way to live. And so I think what we'll find is that the first and second down execution in this game wasn't very good. And Rodgers going up top. Broken up. Great play. I think what we'll find is that the first and second down execution wasn't great in this game. And if you don't execute well on first and second down, you're going to find yourself in third and long, and you're going to end up 2 of 12 on third downs. And that's what we were in this game. 1-6 Devil Doc, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Thank you for being a member of the MOBB. Shout out to your wife who writes, Lou, we ordered some Heine genuine draft for most of the game. In the fourth, we ended it with some Heine ultras. Our blocking and coverage need to get better. I mean, that's not all that needs to get better. There's a lot of things that need to be better. But again, you'll take it with a win and you'll try to improve on those things. But, you know, what I worry about with this staff is that they'll be not necessarily content, but they'll be pleased with some of the things that they did in this game. Or not some of the things, because they should be pleased with some of the game. You force 2 turnovers, you should feel good about that. You get a third down stop down on the 1 yard line, you should feel good about that. So they did do some good things, but I'm afraid they feel like this is the winning ticket. This is the formula, like it was last year. Score 17, hold the opposition down, win the football game. I hope that's not their thought process. Casper Hill, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Who writes, Scary Terry is that dude. Get well soon. I appreciate that. We fighting over here, man. The whole house is sick. I told y'all last week, son was dealing with some stuff, and you know how it is with little kids. They get it. You can't help but get it from them because you got to take care of them. And so we all struggling around these parts, but we'll make it through. We'll make it. I'll make it. I appreciate that, though. Hoodie H, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Who writes, all these so-called shutdown corners, 17 will make you famous. I really want him to take his shot at Trayvon Diggs because Cowboys fan, and I hate the fact that he gets away with all kind of grabbing and tugging and hugging on Terry. You watch a lot of the pass defenses he has against Terry, and you see that he's grabbing him, he's pulling him, he's doing a lot of foolishness, and it's not getting caught. Because I know Terry can cook him. Desmond Williams, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Desmond writes, I like me some J.D. McKissick, but damn, he always trips. I love me some J.D., but I'm sick of him falling down. Like, that was a huge play in the game. And as I mentioned already, that could have cost us. We don't convert that fourth down, we lose the game. You got to stop doing it. And I don't think he can stop doing it. Miss Perry, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Double up. Thank you for doubling up. Who writes, like, sub, up, and turn on the notification bell. Y'all heard the woman. Like the video if you haven't already done so. Love the fact that we're over 400 likes. Subscribe to the Louie Tee Network for more great content and turn on that notification bell so you don't miss a thing. King of the North, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. King of the North writes, props to Defoe for knocking that ball out. Absolutely. That was a big play, Jonathan Taylor fumbling, because, again, I think at the time we were clinging to a 7-3 lead. And, any points in those situations, you see how the game ultimately turned out. Any points in those situations with the Ehlinger fumble and then the fumble forced by Defoe, any points in those situations, and we ultimately lose this game. We didn't know it at the time, but that's what it would have ended up being. We would have lost this game. So, huge plays, for sure. J.R. Hicksonball, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. J.R. Hicksonball writes, we need to stop Scott Turner. We need to stop. Scott Turner is a garbage OC, period. And JDR, you have a no-name QB, and you have been not targeting him with more pressures. The play calling is horrible. Scott Turner has to go. So there's two schools of thought when you're playing against a quarterback like Sam Ehlinger. You can either be super aggressive and heat him up and try to speed up his internal clock, or you can sit back and play coverage because you don't want you. If you look at a guy like Ehlinger, the thought process is we don't want to give up any big plays. We want to make this guy earn it. We saw them turn it over twice. We saw them have to settle for field goals. You don't want to give up big plays. If you bring pressure and a guy gets loose, it could be a touchdown. And so there's, a prevailing thought that, let's just sit back, play coverage, and make this kid make good play after good play, good decision after good decision, and we'll live with the results. So I didn't have a problem with that. Scott Turner, I thought he was okay today. It wasn't like some of the games in the past where, I was mortified with some of his play calling, a lot of his play calling. I thought that there was a little bit of creativity, and I like that. But I still thought he lacked some creativity in some crucial situations. And, I always talk about situational awareness with him. And I thought they lacked a sense of urgency in some situations as well. Duncan Wright, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Thank you for being a member of the MOBB, who writes, if you're going to play Wentz again, you better get better offensive linemen this week. He gets anxious way too quickly. Well, Wentz is on IR. So, and I get what you're saying. You're saying trade deadline is this week, so we better load up on. They're not going to do that. They're not going to do that. We got what we got, and we're going to play with what we're playing with. So it's not happening. Rob, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Who writes, the lack of linebacker depth was my biggest fear, and it came to fruition today. We saw Mayo out there. We gave him some big runs. I don't know if that, again, the film will tell the story, but I don't know if that was a byproduct of linebacker play or what. But also, there was an opportunity for a pick early in the game. David Mayo was, a underneath defender. I don't think Sam Ehlinger ever saw him, and he didn't catch it. Would Cole Holcomb have made that play? I'd like to think so, but I can't say for sure. But you saw it come to fruition, the linebacker depth. We knew that was a problem. Spence Callis, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Spence Callis, thank you for being a member of the MOBB rights. Jack Del F. Rio, give the man his due, haters. Look, bend but don't break. That's what we were defensively today. That's what we've been for a lot of the season. When we've won, it's been bend but don't break. And we did it again today. Colts were 1 of 3 in the red zone. They turned it over twice, right outside of the red zone. So we did our job. It wasn't pretty, and I don't recommend that they do this on a regular, occasion, because I don't think you're going to be able to beat better teams. He was down doing it that way. But I feel like, because remember, coming into the season, a lot of fans thought Jack Del Rio was going to get fired during the season. And I never saw that because I thought the defense would be better this year. Now, I didn't know how much better. But I said the schedule that we're playing, this reminds me, it's reminiscent of 2020. So I think they're going to be better. And they have been better. But make no mistake about it, they can't carry this team. They're not good enough to do that. The 2020 defense was good enough to carry the team against bad football teams. Even today against the Colts, we weren't able to carry the team. Against the Titans, we weren't able to carry the team. K80 Tick, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Thank you for being a member of the MOBB, who writes, Mayo, I need that pick, man. I said, hey, it was nice to see a glob of Mayo out there making something happen, but yeah, I too wanted that pick. You could have rattled the young fella's cage early on if you forced him to turn it over right there. I think that was, if that wasn't the first possession of the game, it was the second. You get a pick there, it could change everything. All right. A193, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Double up. Thank you for doubling up. Who writes, who else in that cup besides T? What else is in that cup besides T, Lou? That's all that's in there, man. I'm in no position. First of all, I told y'all already, I'm on my alcoholic purge. So I haven't had an alcoholic beverage since the calendar turned to October. And I won't have any until we get to Thanksgiving. So, it ain't nothing but tea in that cup, man. Ain't nothing but tea in there. Fat American, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Fat American, thank you for being a member of the MOBB, who writes, F the Colts and Sam Ehlinger. I will fly swat off the that look he has. Frank too. His glasses would fly off from the impact. Can't stand them. And I got no ill will towards them. I didn't love the slander job they did on Carson Wentz, but it is what it is. I don't have time to waste on, those dudes. I'm just trying to get dubs. That's it. And we got it one today. Diabetic one. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Thank you for being a member of the MOBB, who writes, Terry is giving us some treats and tricking the Colts. I like that one. He definitely has given us some treats the last couple of weeks. And he damn sure did trick the hell out of the Indianapolis Colts. They thought they were about to win the game. And Terry said, no, not on my watch. This is my city. This is my shit. Ron Jack, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Ron Jack writes, damn, what you only read paid for comments? Damn. Yeah, I do. And thank you for your super chat, Ron Jack. Roadhouse, not Roadhouse. Red House, not Roadhouse. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Double up. Who writes? Trading Gibby or Payne should not be a thought. It's not. They're not trading either one of those dudes. Now, I don't know if Payne will be back. They about to run these boys out the building. I don't know if Payne gonna be back after the season. They're in control of the situation because they can slap the franchise tag on them. But Gibby's not going anywhere. He's not going anywhere. Michael Mason II, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Michael Mason writes, love the win streak. Wasted picks on 11. 4 is him. I wouldn't go that far, but he probably gave us the best chance. We were looking for a solution. They were looking for a solution, a long-term solution. And they tried something. I'm not mad at it. I don't love it. I don't hate it. They tried something. K80 Tick, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Double up. Thank you for doubling up. Katie Tick writes, Terry screaming, "This is my city" was cold. I loved it. I loved it. You know, just letting them know, like, this is my city. And Terry said, look, born and raised. I'm Indianapolis through and through. So you damn right it's his city. And he going to let you know about it. I loved it. Zacchaeus Maggette III, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Who writes, Scary Terry came through in his hometown. Heineke also came through in the clutch when we needed it. I even took and changed and started Heineke this week, and he got me 22.06 fantasy points. Cheers. Wow. I mean, yeah, he had a passing touchdown. He had a rushing touchdown. Interesting. Good stuff. Justin Hodge, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Justin Hodge, thank you for being a member of the MOBB rights. At Ron Jack, been a long time coming for Lou. He deserves it. He should be back. He should being back on the phone calls at least once a season, though. Wink, wink. Love you, Lou. Thank you, Justin. I appreciate you. I saw what you did there. Wink, wink. I saw what you did there. You slid that in there. Spence Khalees, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you, Spence Khalees. Double up. Right. Goal line stand men amongst boys. 17 proved me wrong. So you must have been one of those who didn't think Terry was that dude. Big stand by Jamin Davis. Again, got to give credit to Bobby McCain for setting the stage for that to take place. And then Jamin Davis making the play that he ultimately made. Huge. And 17, he's that guy. Like, they paid him the money for a reason. And, you know, there was some rumblings and grumblings about $20 million man and this, that, and the third. And I'm like, y'all pipe down. And you're seeing it. He did it again. AJ Meehan, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Double up. Thank you for doubling up. AJ Meehan writes, once again, for the third straight week, the defense deserved this win more than anyone except for Terry and Gibby. The defense made plays. They bent. They never broke. They gave us a chance. The stop by Deron Payne, the stop by Jamin Davis, the stop by Bobby McCain. These are huge plays in the game. You know, it set the stage. The forced fumble of Jonathan Taylor by Defoe. I mean, it set the stage for us to come back and win the game in dramatic fashion the way that we did. So I love it. Love it. All right. Eddie Behringer. Stand up. My guy, Eddie B. The newest member of the MOBB. Thank you for becoming a member of the mob. Y'all know what to do. Show Eddie B some love. Welcome him with open arms. Eddie B, man. Welcome to the squad. All right. Damn Twin Shorty Sublime. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Thank you for being a member of the MOBB who writes, today was Terry's day for show. But Curtis Samuel is also quietly becoming one of our more clutch and consistent receivers. I think you're on to something there. He made some big catches. That fourth down catch was huge. Let's see what he put together today. 3 for 50 was Curtis Samuel. But remember, he also ran it 4 times for 29. So I just love that they're getting him involved in a multitude of ways. That's what you got to do. You know, continue to get him involved the way that they did this game and last week. And you're right. He's starting to make some big plays. It's Curtis Samuel for sure. That fourth down was huge in this game. Zacchaeus Maggette III. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Double up. Thank you for doubling up. Who writes, I meant to say took a chance in the first post. Also, I never slept on the Colts because they did beat the Chiefs. I just didn't sleep on them because that's the kind of team that usually beats us. These are the type of games that we usually lose. So I was prepared to come on here and say, see, they did it again. I told y'all right before I ended the show on Friday, I'm picking Washington because I'm trying to get back in my winners and losers pool. So I'm going with Washington because that's an upset. But I expect us to lose the game because these are the types of games that we lose. And with roughly 10 minutes to go in the game, down 16-7, I said, yep, there it is. We did it again. So I'm so glad they proved me wrong. So glad. True Eminem Mullinex. Hashtag HCTC. Thank you for the stand up. Welcome to the MOBB Mob. Y'all know what to do. Show true Eminem Mullinex some love. Welcome him with open arms. Show him what it's like to be a member of the MOBB. True Eminem Mullinex. Look forward to chopping up with you. Welcome to the squad. Metaphor. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Double up. Thank you for doubling up. Metaphor, who writes, get it straight. Give Terry a chance at the end, not 4. I really feel like Heineke's going to get a lot of the credit. Terry's, you see the kind of love Terry's getting, and he deserves it. But Heineke gave him a chance. So you have to give Heineke credit too. Got to give Heineke credit. He gave Terry a chance. That's all you can ask for. Kevin the PRF, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Thank you for being a member of the MOBB. Kevin the PRF, double up, writes, check your IG for Dynamic Dave's super chat. Okay, will do. Let's take a look at Dynamic Dave's super. Thank you for the assist, Kevin the PRF. All right. Let's see what we got. All right. Let's see what we got. All right, so let's see. Red does. I didn't read this one. I don't know how this one slipped by. Metaphor, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Metaphor writes, W in the left column, but 1-point win to a rook who played better than TLH. Taylor fought and had heart, but a YOLO to Terry to win, not sustainable. Celebrate. You're not wrong, but this is not the first time he's thrown a YOLO up to Terry and it's been successful, which means there's something to that. He did it against the Falcons too. Like, give Terry a chance. He's proven time and time again that he'll come through for you. And while you're not wrong about that's not sustainable, I think you got to keep giving him chances. Juan Gotti talking sports. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Juan Gotti talking sports writes, leave Scott Turner in Indy. Trash. Defense was amazing. He wants to leave Scott Turner in Indy and not let him on the plane. He wasn't that bad. He's had way worse performances this season, but he wasn't great today either. Wilfredo Elias, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Thank you for being a member of the MOBB, who writes, that's the Scott Turner I've come to resent and hate. Also, I recognize this probably isn't sustainable, but I'm going to enjoy these dubs while I can. Hashtag HTTC. Understand that there are teams in this league with 1 win, like the Detroit Lions, which is infuriating because their 1 win came from us. There are teams with 2 wins on the season, i.e. Carolina, and Houston's a 1-win team as well. And so that could be us. And we're really close to being a 1-win team right now. We easily could be a 0-win team. Think about it. So I'm going to enjoy these. You're not going to make me feel bad about them. It's hard to win in this league. You hear that all the time. Benjamin Slade, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Benjamin writes, I see a lot of griping. 3 in a row. A win is a win. Amen. Say it a little bit louder, man. I understand that you would like to win in a certain fashion, but look, with this team, that's how it's going to probably look. I'll take them any way I can get them. 1-6 Devil Dot. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Double up. Who writes, where was that offense all second half? We won, though. Great question. Because up until that one drive where we had 12 plays, 82 yards, and settled for the field goal, I think we had 22 yards the entire second half leading up to that drive. It was a joke. Metaphor. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Writes, identical plays to Tennessee L last drive, but had a turnover or a timeout. Excuse me. Yeah, you're right. We had the timeout so we could afford to run the football in case we didn't get in. We could use the timeout. You're right. You're absolutely right about that. I forgot we didn't have a timeout and we didn't have a ton of time. King of the North, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. King of the North writes, Taylor was gun shy till he couldn't be anymore. Why's he got to throw a pick to wake up? he got hit on that. That wasn't one of those Taylor Heineke, like the first possession against Green Bay when he threw it into triple coverage to Terry. That's the kind of throws that I want him to erase from his game. He got hit as he was throwing that ball and got picked off by Shaq Leonard. He got hit. So that wasn't like, Heineke trying to force the ball in there. He was trying to make a play, got hit while he was throwing it, went up in the air, got picked off. But I don't know. I don't know why. Stop asking. I wish I had the answers for you. Ben Ehlinger, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Thank you for being a member of the MOBB, who writes, the legend of Heineke grows thanks to Terry. Indeed. Doesn't happen without Terry making a huge play there. All right. All right. So we read all of those. All right. I don't see. Let's see. I didn't see Dynamic Dave's super chat in here. Here it is. Here it is. Here it is. Here it is. Dynamic Dave, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Who writes, wow, what a movie-like ending. I feel like we are the luckiest team right now. McLaurin earned every dollar on his contract. One nitpick, we were silent in the second and third quarter. That's not a nitpick. That's real. Like, after we scored that touchdown on a 6-play, 75-yard drive, whatever it was, I was like, yeah, we about to do these boys. I was feeling confident. And then we went to sleep. We still, if you ask me, we still haven't played 4 quarters of football yet this season. That's frustrating. We still haven't played 4 quarters of football yet. It was like a movie, though. That ending was crazy. We usually don't get those types of endings. That's just not what we do. All right. Thank you for that, Kevin, the PRF. Michael White, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Thank you for being a member of the MOBB, who writes, do you think if Taylor Heineke continues to play like this and Ron still gives the ball back to Carson, does he lose this team? Potentially. There's a chance. You got to have as a head coach, you have to have the pulse of the football team. And going back to Carson Wentz, especially if we win, these 4 games, especially if we're the first team to knock off the Philadelphia Eagles, because they're going to beat Houston next week on Thursday night. So if you find a way to beat, they're running the shit out of football. If you find a way to beat the next 2 teams on the schedule, Minnesota and Philadelphia, how can you bench them? How can you bench them? Dream Team Buddha Film Production. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Thank you for being a member of the MOBB, who writes, bro, now you see why I love me some Gibby. Hashtag HTTC. Dream Team Buddha. I told y'all, I don't know if you saw this, but I was watching the film last week, and during the film breakdown, I told all of the Mobb members, Antonio Gibson is the most talented player on this team. And then I came out on the live stream on Wednesday night, and I doubled down and said it again. I didn't stutter. DJ23, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. DJ23 writes, wasn't the biggest Heineke fan, but he makes it hard not to love him. Also, Scott's play calling and O-line are terrible, and Terry got that dog in him. Look, you may think Heineke is trash, and I'm not here to convince you otherwise. But you have to admit, it's hard not to root for the guy. Understand that. It's hard not to root for Heineke. I'll just say that. The offensive line has to play better. CME HTTR, stand up. You are officially the newest member of the MOBB. Thank you for becoming a member of the MOBB. Mob, y'all know what to do. Show CME HTTR some love. Welcome him with open arms. Show him what it's like to be a member of the Mobb Squad. CME HTTR, welcome to the squad. Will Kavanaugh, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Thank you for being a member of the MOBB. Will Kavanaugh writes, Ron is driving alongside. Oh, hell of a catch. Wow. Wow, that's a big catch. That's how you get back in the football game. Ron is driving alongside us as we are walking down the sidewalk, begging for us to get back in the whip. I don't think he's begging, but again, I'll take it. Stephen Kinsler, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Stephen Kinsler writes, 4 should have been QB1 from the start. No disrespect to Carson, but 4 was basically a rookie last year, and he has the locker room. Can't take that for granted. Coach, $28 million down the drain. Shaking my head. Nothing you said there is wrong. Again, they were looking for an upgrade at the quarterback position. They're still looking for an upgrade at the quarterback position. But to your point, Heineke gives us the best chance to win. So could view it as a waste of $28 million. A193, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Who writes, Lou, what are we looking like in the hospital? Thought I saw them standing from the window when I came in. I don't even know what that one means. I'm gonna keep it pushing. Metaphor, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Metaphor writes, all DMV hospital beds are full, ER packed with cardiacs. Boy, every week, every single week. Honestly, I didn't think this game would come down to what it ultimately came down to. Again, didn't see it coming. Straight up. Gunny Man, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Gunny Man writes, Scott Turner play calling garbage can juice. You're not going to get too many complaints out of me in terms of your comment. I will say that this wasn't one of his worst performances. I've seen worse from him. I thought he was creative in the run game. Anytime Curtis Samuel touches it the way that he did in this game, I'm excited about that. I hate the screen game. I love the fact that we finally ran a tight end screen, but I hate our screen game because we don't block. Will Kavanaugh, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Double up. Thank you for doubling up. Who writes, we are part of the NFC beast now, Lou? Question mark. Yeah. I mean, we got a long way to go, but we're not under 500 anymore. So when they show that graphic of all the teams in the division, we can lay claim to being at 500 and a part of the success of this division and not the one team dragging it down. No other division can say that every team in the division is over 500, at or over 500. With our win today, we're 4-4, and we can now make that claim about the NFC East. So I feel good about that. True M&M Mullinex, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Thank you for becoming a member of the MOBB, who writes, hey, Lou, LOL, it took you to get out of the car, then Ron started to win. I guess he didn't want you to get out, LOL. Well, he should have started winning sooner, and I would have never have gotten out in the first place. Beat the Titans, and I'm in there, right? I wonder if that game goes differently if Heineke's in. Yeah, just a thought. But again, I don't like going back and having revisionist history. AJ Meehan, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Who writes, like button. Y'all heard the man. Hit the like button. Thank you so much for that, AJ Meehan. Keys, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Keys writes, our special teams have been producing the turnovers, recovering muff punts, but this game, the defense was the reason. Love to see it. Terry snatched that rock like Pookie in the Carter Apartments. Go on. Go on. I don't care how we get the turnovers. I just want them. And like you said, it's been special teams contributing the last couple of weeks against the Bears, against the Packers. But the defense stood up today and got it done. And so that's huge. It's not surprising that on this 3-game win streak, we're in the plus in the turnover battle. You know, all season long, we've been in the negative. Even the one game we won in week 1, we were negative in the turnover battle. During this 3-game win streak, we've been plus in the turnover category. So it's not a coincidence. It really isn't. Gunny Man, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Gunny Man, double up. Thank you for doubling up. Gunny Man writes, Jamin Davis playing like that first rounder. And you know what? I love to see it because there were so many people hating on Jamin Davis. And I talked about Ron. I said, look, a lot of y'all were killing Ron. You know, you didn't approve of a lot of the moves he made, including Jamin Davis. And they challenged him early in the season. He's responded. He's playing well, like a first rounder should. And, you know, I've talked about a lot of the moves that they've made. You know, Rashad Wild Goose is hit or miss week in, week out. You don't know what Wild Goose is going to show up. But John Ridgeway has been a pleasant surprise. F.A. Obata has been a pleasant surprise. Like, we've gotten good contributions from a lot of these guys that they've added. So, I mean, a lot of you were clowning the pick. I think he's starting to win you over. Maybe you're not completely 100% sold on him yet, but he's winning a lot of you over. D Moore, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. D Moore writes, I'm still walking. Terry made a heck of a play. That would have been a pick if it was any of our other receivers. I don't doubt that. Maybe Cam Sims goes up and fights for it. But yeah, I think you're right. I think any of our other receivers don't make that play. I'm going to give Cam Sims an opportunity on that one. I'm going to give him an opportunity on that one. Miss Perry, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you, Miss Perry. Right, sent a missed one to you. All right, let's see what we got. Yeah, I read that one already. Yeah, I read that one. Yeah, Kevin the PRF came through in the clutch for the kid, so I was able to read those. Thank you so much for that, Condo P and Kevin the PRF. Really appreciate y'all. All right. Booty Cheek Creek Freak. The Booty Creek Cheek Freak. Yikes. That's a lot. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Thank you for being a member of the MOBB. Wow. Okay, getting into it with guys on the sidelines. Do you think the Vikings are legit? I do. Now, it's not similar to us. It's not always pretty, but they find ways to win. And that's what it's all about in this league. Is you just got to find a way to win. And they got dynamic receivers. Kirk is distributing the football as we know he can. The defense is playing way better than they have in the last 2 or 3 years. And they forced like 3 or 4 turnovers today against Arizona. Like, the Vikings are legit. And they get pressure on the quarterback. Zadarius Smith is a monster for them. He did get injured today, so it'll be interesting to see if he plays next week. But that's a good football team. It's a really good football team. And we're going to have to play a lot better than we did today in order to beat them, just so you know. Carson Revis, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Carson Revis writes, best and worst play for us today. Man, Jalen Hurts was so good today. Wow. The second touchdown throw to A.J. Brown. Oh, my God. I said, man, I shitted on you. And I'm going to go out on a record and say, I was thinking this as I was watching that game. The biggest off-season move was the Eagles getting A.J. Brown. He dynamically changed their offense. The worst play of the day for your Eagles, I mean, it wasn't terrible because you got to give the Steelers some credit, but they ran a nice little trick play on 4th down where they handed it to Claypool and then he threw to Watt. Yeah. That was your worst defensive play, but y'all a good football team, man. Y'all legit. I will say this. Y'all have had luck on your side in terms of playing teams when they're not at full strength, but that's a part of the game. You know, you missed TJ Watt today. I think he would have made a huge difference. You missed Dak Prescott. You missed DeAndre Hopkins. He makes a huge difference. We've already seen that in the 2 games he's been back. So you've been really fortunate. But that doesn't take away from the fact that you've been outstanding, man. Gunny Man, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Double up. Thank you for doubling up. Gunny Man writes, Turner needs to open the offense up earlier. I couldn't agree with you more. Hype do. Stand up. You are now the newest member of the MOBB. Hype do. Thank you for becoming a member. Mob, you know what to do. Show Hype do some love. Welcome him with open arms. And Hype do. I've been chopping it up with you for ages. It's so good to finally have you on board. Looking forward to continuing to chop it up with you. Welcome to the squad. Hype do. Dejan Bell, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Dejan Bell writes, game ball to Joey Sly. Amani Rogers looks the part. I'm so tired of Scott waiting until our backs are against the wall. We need to be all gas, no brakes if we want to dominate. I ain't giving Joey Sly no game ball for doing what he's supposed to do. He made some easy chip shot. He made a easy chip shot field goal, and he made both of his extra points like he's supposed to. Ain't giving him credit for doing what you're supposed to do. I'm glad he did what he was supposed to do. We watched the Panthers field goal kicker miss an extra point, miss a chip shot field goal, and cost the Panthers a game today. So it could happen, but no game ball to Joey Sly. But he's a Sly guy. Doo-doo, doo-doo-doo-doo. Amani Rogers definitely looks the part. I agree with you. And we definitely need to be more aggressive. All brakes, all gas, no brakes. Carson Reeves, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Double up. Thank you for doubling up. Who writes, glad we didn't go to our roots of making rookies or first-time starters look like elite players. Why do we always do that, Lou? Oh, damn, I thought you was an Eagles fan. You had the Eagles logo. I don't know why. Stop asking. Look, we're frustrating because elite defenses, and we're far from one. Elite defenses don't allow Sam Ehlinger. Sam Ehlinger was really good today. 17 of 21 for 201. One of those was a drop at the very end of the game. Okay. He had a fumble. That was the worst play he had of the game. He used his legs very adequately. Look up Sam Ehlinger's numbers. He was really good today. Like, they may have something there. And I was a big Sam Ehlinger fan coming out of Texas, so I'm not surprised by what he's doing right now. 17 of 23, excuse me. I said 21. 17 of 23 for 201. 6 carries, 15 yards. And I thought he made some timely throws. That deep ball to Alec Pierce, thing of beauty. Yeah, no. I thought he was really good. So it wasn't like, we allowed some bum to come in and get us. He's a quality quarterback. So I think they may have something in Indy. Lance Eubank, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Thank you for being a member of the MOBB, who writes, Terry is 2-0 this season. Last 2 weeks, Terry has not let us down. Matthew Stansberry, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. This is my Colts fan guy. I love Matthew, who writes, great game, even though the Colts lost. Most enjoyable game all year. Love the flow with Sam at quarterback and seeing Terry back home in Indy. Keep up the great work. I enjoyed Sam Ehlinger. I'm not going to lie to you. I was a huge fan of his at Texas. Thought he was going to be one of the underrated quarterbacks. Go back and watch my draft wrap-up of him and what I thought he would be in the league. And I said, I like him more than most. I think he's got something. He's got some moxie and some poise and some playmaking to him. And you saw it today. Like, Colts fans didn't have a lot to be excited about. They're going to enjoy the final 10 games of the season. Or 9 games now. They're going to enjoy the final 9 games of the season. Because Sam gives them a reason to hope, to believe, and to enjoy. Hype do. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Hype do. Thank you for becoming a member of the MOBB writes. Last drive had me like, please bring change. Win. Stop losing. I can't tell you how excited I was when Terry pulled that ball in. But then the first thing that my mind went to is we were here before and we didn't score. So I wasn't, and I thought they were going to get in gun and do something dumb. And like somebody said earlier, and I can't remember who it was. I think it was Metaphor. But somebody said the difference is they had a timeout. So you could go quarterback sneak. That was the biggest difference. We didn't have a timeout against Tennessee, so you couldn't run the football until 4th down. How dramatic was that? Like Dynamic Dave said, that's some movie shit. And we are never on the right side of the end of these movies. Britt Wilkins, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Britt Wilkins writes, that pick had touch on it. Miscommunication. Scott way better in the second half. That pick got hit. So, like I said, his arm was hit as he was releasing that football. That's why it fluttered into the air and ultimately got picked off. So, I don't think it was a miscommunication. I just think he tried to make something happen when he probably shouldn't have. And I don't agree with Scott way better in the second half. Up until the 12-play, 82-yard field goal drive, we had 22 yards in the second half. So I think Scott was good early in the game. I thought he had a lull in the second and third. And then when we needed it most, down 9, Scott got into his bag and we started to make plays and we were more aggressive. And again, as many of you have said, why wait until you have to have it to do this? Why not be a little bit more aggressive? But they like playing it close to the vest. So your mom can't walk because of me. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Thank you for being a member of the MOBB who writes 2005. Never let us forget. Never let us forget. 2005. DJ23. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Double up. Thank you for doubling up. Who writes 3 straight common denominators. We cause turnovers. I said that just not too long ago. That's the difference during this win streak is we've taken care of the ball a lot better, but more importantly, because we've turned it over too. You know, we didn't turn it over in the Bears game, but we turned it over against Green Bay. We turned it over in this game against the Colts, but we forced either the same amount or more turnovers in those games. It's not a coincidence. Wilfredo Elias, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Double up. Who writes, do you think TH shows he would have beaten Tennessee? It's hard to say. I think he would have beaten them. But to me, Carson played well enough for us to win in that game up until down by the red zone. But that was more on the defense. They had nothing for us offensively. You couldn't let Derrick Henry get you, and we let Derrick Henry get us, and then you give up a 61-yard pass down the field to Westbrook Akina. That was on defense. The Titans shouldn't have scored no more than 10 points. They had nothing on offense in that game. So I don't think that was necessarily I don't think that was on the I don't think that was on the defense. I mean, the offense, excuse me. I don't think that was on Carson Wentz. All right. All right, let's see. All right. I went way down. Oh, yeah, I went way, way down. Here we go. Nope, that's not it. What are you doing? I don't know what happened just now. And I got to get back to where I was. Yeah, okay. We were there. We already read that one. All right. We already read those. We already read that one. We already read that one. We already read those. Read that one. All right, here we go. Chill Dude. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Thank you for being a member of the MOBB who writes, a win is a win. 3 wins feel good. Love you, Lou. Let's go. Man, I can't begin to tell you how good it feels to be back at 500. I know that 2 out of the 3 wins weren't pretty. And some of you would say they weren't worth a damn. But they all count the same. Last time I checked. Again, this ain't college football. You don't get style points. You just get a left hand, a mark in either the left or the right hand column. And we've got 3 in a row in the left hand column. So sign me up for that. Thank you, Chill Dude. Love you as well. Carson Reeves. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Who writes, best cornerback class in NFL history? Maybe. I mean, history, that's steep. I mean, you'd have to go back and do your history and look and see. But Sauce is playing out of his mind. Stingley is outstanding. I feel like I'm missing somebody else who's playing really well. There's a lot of young boys that are playing some good ball. So I don't know if it's the best ever, but those boys are good. I'll tell you that. Gunny Man, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Gunny Man writes, kids have a strain that will put you on your ass. Hey, look, my son is like the exorcist. Like when I had to stop, my wife came and said, hey, he just threw up like 5 times in a row. And he blessed me yesterday. And so I got 0 sleep yesterday. I told my wife, I got the aches, the shakes, the quakes, and the can't stay awakes. He kicked ass. Him, the twins both kicked ass, and then my oldest kicked ass. They worked in unison to make sure that I got 0 sleep last night. So it's been rough. When your immune system is being compromised and you're not getting the proper rest, it makes it that much worse. So, Frankie, yo, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Double up. Thank you for doubling up, Frankie, yo. Right. Thanks for powering through the illness. Love the streams. Hope you and the fam feel better soon. I appreciate that, man. I really, truly do. DJ23. We all got to play hurt sometimes, man. We all got to play hurt sometimes. DJ23. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you, Rights. I take my statement back on JD being on punts. This man can't stay upright to save his life. I would never want JD McKissick on punts. To your point, he can't stay upright, but I can see JD bobbling some shit, JD is perfectly fine in the role that he's in right now. Gunny Man, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you, Rights. Full of ass cheeks needs to trade for a corner by Tuesday. They're not going to trade for a corner. They're not looking to give up draft capital. I think they're fine with what they've done, and they're going to roll with what they have, and they're going to see what happens. I do think corner is going to be high on the priority list next year. Obviously, with William Jackson III, I really want to trade him. I don't know if they're going to be able to do it, but maybe he'll be back at some point this season. I don't even know if we want him back at this point. So, anyway, William Lee, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you, William Lee. Thank you for being a member of the MOBB. Right, Lou, they wanted it. We needed it. Facts. They wanted it. We needed it. We needed to get back to 500. Al Butts, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Double up. Thank you for doubling up, Al Butts, who writes, Lou, difference in the game, we won the turnover and only 3 flags. And you never said where the party is this weekend. Coming down for the game from New York. I don't know where the party at. You got to remember, I just moved up here. And COVID has really stopped me from, going out and exploring the city for real. So I'm still learning myself. So I can't tell you where the party at, jagged edge style. But you're right about the turnovers. Absolutely spot on. And I need you to find a way to bring home the dub. You coming from New York, don't go home empty-handed. Bring the dub home. And 3 flags. I haven't mentioned that. That's a great point. We didn't look, these officials let us play in this game. Kendall Fuller easily probably could have and should have been flagged for pass interference. They were letting us play down the field. So that was huge. John Beristain, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. John writes, AG needs to be in on the 2-minute drills instead of JD. I agree, man. And, I don't want to do JD like that because if you take him off of the 2-minute, situations, then where's JD going to get his opportunities? If that's the case, you could have let JD leave to go to Buffalo. And I remember telling y'all, hey, we can be fine without JD. I didn't want to lose him, but I'm like, it's not the end of the world if JD leaves. But also, we've seen better JD. JD's seen better days. His first year here with Alex Smith, check down. Captain, check down. He was outstanding, but I don't think he's regained that, status. There were moments last year, the Falcons game, the Giants game, but he got hurt, and really our offense went to shit when he got hurt at the end of the season last year. D Moore, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Double up. Thank you for doubling up. Who writes, we need more dominant wins against bad teams. I just want wins, period. I would love it to be dominant, but I really just want to win. Josh Allen going up top. Wow. Packers about to get run. Nick Ransom. Stand up. Nick, you are now the newest member of the MOBB. So glad to have you aboard, Nick Ransom. Come on in. Mob, y'all know what to do. Show Nick some love. Welcome him with open arms. Show him what it's like to be a member of the MOBB. So glad to have you, Nick. Welcome to the squad. William Lee, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Double up. Thank you for doubling up. William Lee, who writes, when I see this defensive line get gashed up the gut by running backs, it makes me throw up in my mouth. Because that's the one place we're not supposed to give it up, is up the middle. You want to run, I've said this already. You want to run against us on the perimeter is where you can make that happen. We saw Green Bay do it. We saw Jacksonville do it. We saw Detroit do it. We saw Chicago do it. You want to run outside is the way to do it. You want to come up the middle, we got to stop you. And we got gutted a couple of times in this game, But also you have to remember, they used the quarterback's legs as a part of the run game, and it made us have to, be more disciplined, and you couldn't just crash down, and they got some of their runs like that. Wow. No, that's out of bounds. Crazy. Take command for life. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Who writes, hope all is well with your family, Lou. My mom almost had a heart attack watching this one. I didn't think we'd pull it out after 7-16. None of us did. There might have been one or two people in the MOBB like, hey, you guys got to be positive. I wasn't trying to hear that shit at 16-7 because I kept saying this feels eerily similar to the Denver game last year. Late window game against a team we feel like we're supposed to beat. Bobby McCain drops a pick early in that game. Teddy Bridgewater is in there. You're thinking, man, we need to beat these clowns. And we let them hang around and steal it from us, beat us 17-10. And I thought we were going to lose this game 16-10. So it felt a lot like the Denver game last year. But again, a little different. Kaylon Meekins, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Kaylon Meekins, right? We won this time. You brought a guy on, Lou. I told you I was going to change it. I told you I was going to change the narrative. I said, since I've been bringing dudes on, and I did bring on a Jacksonville guy at the beginning, UCF Jaguar, and we won. However, it's been, and I took it a step further. I said, when they picked against their team, when they picked us to beat them, we were winless. James picked Sports Fan Entertainment, excuse me. He picked Washington to beat Tennessee. We lost that game. The Lions guys came on and we lost that game, and they picked us to beat them. Trying to think. I thought it was like one more team that I had on. And they picked, I can't remember. I think that was it, but we were 0-for. I told you I was going to change it, and I did. Eddie B, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you, my guy. Eddie B writes, Lou, man, I've been Mobb, bro. I upgraded to gold. I know. It don't tell me here. It doesn't tell me on my screen what you've done. All it says is, member of the Mobb Squad. So I can't see. If I look at it on YouTube, it'll tell me upgraded to gold or silver or whatever, but not on StreamYard. It doesn't tell you. So he says, I need more perks, bro. Got to see your film breakdowns. Let's go. I can't wait for you to see them. Have so much fun. And there's so much that you see when you sit down and you watch the film, which is why I'm usually so optimistic. Malachi Malik, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Stephon Diggs looks like he's going to the locker room a little early. Malachi Malik, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Thank you for being a member of the MOBB. who writes, do we give WJ3 another chance over Wild Goose? I don't know if they are or not. I'm not going to lie to you. I really don't think they want him playing again. Ron seems so disinterested when he's asked about William Jackson III. Nick Ransom. Like, it just reminds me of when Ron first got here, he cleaned house on guys that weren't buying into what he believed. Like Quentin Dunbar, Trent Williams, Morgan Moses. Remember after that first year, he got rid of Morgan Moses, or it might have been his first year without us even playing a game. He got rid of Morgan Moses. So I think once a guy makes it known that he doesn't want to be a part of it, Ron doesn't want anything to do with you. Nick Ransom, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Thank you for being the newest member of the MOBB, who writes, Lou, this is a late peaking team. Just maybe once we get some more of our guys back, might do better when we're thinking 3 weeks ago. This has been a late peaking team. This is a little bit earlier for us, right? Normally, we've got to be, 4, 5, 6 games in the hole before we start winning. It's going to be interesting to see if we're able to get some guys back this week against the Vikings. Should be a lot of fun if we can, especially if Chase is back this week. Amar 2 times official. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Who writes, let B-Rob be the cop back. Gibby RB1. Change of pace for those of you keeping score at home. But that's the thing, is he's not a change of pace. Gibby is more of a change of pace. J.D. McKissick is more of a change of pace. You could argue he's slower than those guys, so he's slower than Gibson, so he's still a change of pace. But when you think of change of pace backs, you're thinking of, a guy that comes in that's faster. You've been pounded all game long with this guy that's not as fast, and then you get this guy running extremely fast, and it catches you off guard. But we'll see what they decide to do. True Eminem Mullinex, hashtag HTCC. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Who writes, double up, I was in the mob before, but glad to be back. Glad to have you back. I know you were in, I've seen your name before, so it wasn't the first time, but it's always good to have you back. Thank you so much. Zachary Minor, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Zachary Minor writes, no way Jackson isn't better than Wild Goose. But you got to remember, Wild Goose is an inside guy. William Jackson III is not. So you would be putting William Jackson III outside and moving Benjamin St. Juice back inside. I prefer my Juice outside, to be honest with you. But yeah, I understand where you're coming from. RVA Monarch, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Double up. Thank you for doubling up. Who writes, you can't measure someone's want to. Heineke has a lot of it. That's why you can't help but root for him. His confidence brings life to this team. I agree 110%. 110%. And that's kind of the message that I was delivering earlier. Like, he's got something that these players can rally around. And you can't teach that. Either you got it or you don't. I agree with you. Metaphor, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Metaphor writes, change his name to Tame Goose and get some consistency. Look, Wild Goose fits him because you don't know what the hell you're going to get. His ass all over the damn place. Hassan Carroll, thank you. Stand up, Hassan. You are now the newest member of the MOBB. Thank you so much, Hassan. Greatly appreciate you. Mob, y'all know what to do. Show Hassan Carroll some love. Welcome him with open arms and let him know what it's like to be a member of the Mob Squad. Looking forward to chopping it up with you, Hassan. Welcome to the squad. All right. DJ23, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. DJ23 writes, I don't think TH is trash. I just know what he is, and he's playing well, but I know there's a Heineke 0 alcohol in the cooler somewhere. Exactly. He's a backup quarterback. And I know some of you don't want to hear that. I've seen your comments. Louie Tee, Taylor Heineke could win the Super Bowl, and Louie Tee has said he's still the best backup in football. No, I wouldn't say that if he won the Super Bowl, but he's not going to win the Super Bowl. He's not going to win the Super Bowl. So that's the problem is these 2 games that we've just won, we've seen, I thought somebody put it very eloquently earlier. You saw Heineke non-alcoholic, you saw Heineke Light, and you saw Ultra, all in the same game. And until there's consistency, that's always going to be the problem with Taylor Heineke. He's got limitations, and he's going to have to be more consistent. Period. End of discussion. All right. You're right. It's definitely a zero alcoholic beverage in the cooler with him. Facts. I love that one. DJ 23. I love that one. You know, there's one in there. Gunny Man, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Who writes, F the Eagles. You're not wrong. They're good, but you're not wrong. Carson Reeves. Okay. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Who writes, that's my high school team, not NFL. HTTC, and I'm ready for the Chase Young Comeback Player of the Year nomination too. It'd be great, but thank you for the clarity there, because I was like, damn, you an Eagles fan. You had to clean that up quick. And then when you said us, I'm like, you a Washington fan? Got you. Okay. I don't think I have many expectations for Chase when he comes back. I just want him back out there, period. Your mom can't walk because of me. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Double up. Who writes, picked 52 this offseason as a turnaround player. And right now, you will be correct, sir. He's playing well. Very, very well. Your mom can't walk because of me. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Who writes, anyone trying to get down for some Modern Warfare 2, add me. My name is Call of Booty. It would be something like that, wouldn't it? Call of Booty. Metaphor. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Metaphor writes, Tennessee, Carson first and goal. Cam Sims stops. TD in the back. I mean, I've seen those plays over and over again. I really didn't feel like, it was necessarily a surefire touchdown. There might have been some opportunities if Carson wouldn't have panicked, but I don't think there was a surefire. Oh my God, I can't believe, like Russell Wilson when he missed KJ Hamler against the Indianapolis Colts. I don't think it was any of that stuff going on, but yeah. Craig Anderson, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Thank you for the super chat once again, Craig Anderson. D Moore, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. D Moore writes, wish you and the family a speedy recovery. I appreciate that, man. Thank you so much. I really do truly appreciate that. We need it. We need it. For sure. Brighton BGT, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Who writes, I didn't watch the game. I heard Terry gave Stefan an order of F around and find out. Yeah, pretty much. A lot of people are getting a nice helping of F around and find out. Facts. Definitely gave him that work. Tony P56, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Tony P56 writes, 2 claps and a Ric Flair. Woo! Styling and profiling. Woo! 3 in a row. Metaphor, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. My guy Metaphor writes, imagine if 52 was on the 2005 team. Look, don't feed in the fat Americans' foolishness, okay? All right, so that is the final super chat. I'm so elated by the victory tonight. I'll be back for Sunday Night Football, and then we'll go from there. I'm more likely than not. I'm too excited. I'm too amped to not do videos, but we'll see how I feel. Right now, I feel like I can push through. But if I wake up tomorrow feeling like trash, may not happen. But in any event, celebrate 3 in a row. We 4-4. We back to 500. Who would have thought 3 weeks ago, after that devastating loss to the Titans, that we'd be sitting here back at 500 at 4-4 in the season? Not I. Wasn't pretty, but it was gritty, and most importantly, it was a dub. I'll see you guys on Monday for CNN. Look forward to chopping it up with you. For those of you who will join me later, see you for Sunday Night Football overtime. Until then, you guys have a good one. God bless, and good night.
Louie Tee Network.